One of the biggest mistakes you see injured workers repeatedly make. Number one thing is not taking your case seriously. So many times people get hurt and they think it's not a big deal. I sprained my ankle, I bumped my head, not a big deal. Especially when you work in a physical job and you're out there and you're active and you suffer a bump or a bruise or something, your body kind of just takes it and keeps going. And a lot of times people don't realize how bad it is until they get home and they wind down and they're having dinner and then they're in a ton of pain, or the next morning they can't get out of bed because their back is all flared up. Take your injury seriously. If you get hurt, do something about it. Get checked out by a doctor. Even if you think it's not a big deal, get checked out and hopefully it's nothing and you bounce back and go back to work and it's not a big deal and you can forget about it. Right there with that is giving notice. One of the biggest mistakes we see is people get hurt and they think it's not a big deal, so they never tell their supervisor or their employer about it. A fatal flaw to a workers' compensation case is not giving proper notice. If you get hurt, you have 30 days to notify your employer in writing unless they have actual notice. Tell your boss about it, tell your supervisor about it. Very, very important. Not getting a lawyer is another mistake that people make. Your lawyer is there to help you. Your lawyer is there for free. Call a lawyer, get some advice, get some help, and they'll steer you in the right direction. Another huge mistake that we see are people not taking their case seriously once they're involved. Insurance companies have teams of lawyers and spend thousands or millions of dollars every year defending workers' compensation cases. They take it very, very seriously. You should too. Failing to do any of those things could result in a dramatic decrease in the benefits you're entitled to, a dramatic decrease in the medical treatment that you might otherwise be entitled to, and could also result in you getting nothing at all. Your case could be disallowed. If you didn't give proper notice and a judge agrees that you didn't give proper notice, your case could be disallowed. If you don't have proper medical, your case could be disallowed. If you don't get the treatment that you need, who knows if you're ever going to get better. So doing those things, it's super, super important. What are some common misconceptions about workers' compensation that lead to common mistakes? People fail to report prior accidents and prior injuries because they think it's no big deal or nobody's going to find out about it. You have a current claim for a knee injury that you suffered a month ago. And yeah, maybe you did blow out your knee in high school playing soccer. They're never going to find out about it. It's no big deal. It is a big deal because if you don't disclose it and they do find out about it, well, now technically you've been withholding information. It could be fatal to your case. Insurance fraud is a bad thing. Technically, they could attach criminal penalties to it. You could be arrested technically. You don't want to mess with it. You want to get that information out. You want to let your lawyer know about it. You want to let the court know about it ahead of time. This way you're out in front of it and it's not a big deal at that point. Another misconception. People think they hired a lawyer and great, my lawyer is going to do everything. We're not magicians. We can only do with what we got. When you don't take your case seriously and you don't give your lawyer all of the information that you have to help prosecute your claim and defend against any problems that your case might have, it's problematic. And if you don't get a lawyer from the start, it's more difficult for a lawyer to jump in halfway through a case when a problem has popped up. We have to get access to your file, we have to review your file, and this problem is boiling than if you had a lawyer from the start. If you have a lawyer from the start, we're a phone call away. Another big misconception here, it's handling your case on your own. And I'm not saying you can't do it. People do it every single day. Obviously, there's varying degrees of severity when it comes to accidents, and there's varying degrees of severity when it comes to how an insurance company is going to deal with a case. They could accept your case and pay you, and it might not be a major injury, and you might be able to handle it on your own. But a lot of people try to handle more significant cases on their own, and when it reaches a point where a problem does pop up, they don't have the ability to handle it, and then they have to go scramble and find a lawyer. So it's always best even just to have a consultation with a lawyer and see what's out there. What can injured workers do to avoid making mistakes that cost them time and money? The first mistake, and we did talk about it before, give notice. You told a friend of a friend of a friend who called your boss 3 days later about and told him about the accident. It's not the best notice. That could lead to an insurance company controverting or fighting your case. Then you have to go to court, and then you have to have a trial. Who knows which way the judge is going to decide? There might be an appeal. That's going to drag your case out unnecessarily. If you get hurt, make sure you give proper notice in writing. Go to your boss, go to your supervisor, go to site safety, go to HR. Say, hey, I just fell down. I just had an accident. I want to fill out an accident report. Even if it's minor, fill it out. Take care of yourself. It's in writing. You're protected yourself, and you did the smart thing. The number two thing, gather and keep evidence. You might have a great relationship with your employer. You might have a great relationship with the insurance company when your case first starts up, but you never know what's going to happen. Gather and keep evidence. If you had an accident on a construction site and somebody can snap a picture for you, do it. If there's a possibility that they're going to say that you weren't working for the company and you have a t-shirt with the company's name on, make sure you keep it. Don't throw it out. Gather and keep all the evidence you can to support your claim because it might be very useful. Number three, follow your doctor's treatment instructions. Non-compliance with doctors is a huge problem. Go see your doctor, follow their instructions, go get your treatment, and go back to work as soon as your doctor advises you to do so. A lot of people will stay out of work thinking it will get you more money. And when you compound that with the problem of them not treating with a doctor on the schedule that they should be treating, it makes them look bad. So see your doctor regularly, see your doctor as they instruct you to, go back to work as soon as you're able. Another way to avoid mistakes, when you are in court, when you're answering questions to a judge, to the insurance company, to their doctor, don't just blurt out answers. You could take a breath. You can stop. Make sure you think about your answer and you give them the correct answer. People talk too much in court. It can be very harmful to you. When you're in your lawyer's office, you could spill your guts all you want. You could tell them everything you want to tell them. But when you get to court, listen to the question, think about the answer the question, and do nothing more because there's no reason for it. How should injured workers work together with their lawyer to avoid mistakes? The number one thing here is communication. It's almost like you're being married for a short period of time to your lawyer. Communication is key. Be upfront with your lawyer. Give them all the facts. Give them all the evidence. Tell them everything you could possibly tell them about the case, just as much as you want to tell your lawyer all the good things that are in your favor, the witnesses that saw you, the pictures that you got. Make sure you also tell them about the bad things that might hurt your case. Not telling your lawyer and hiding it is only going to make it worse if it comes out and your lawyer is not prepared for it. And that's the same thing as prior accidents and injuries. Let your lawyer know about it. Let your lawyer be able to get out in front of those problems and downplay that negative impact so you can get past those problems. Is there an issue if you switch lawyers? If you're switching lawyers, you're probably doing it because there is an issue. So yes. Generally speaking, here in New York State, no, it's not an issue. You're allowed to hire a lawyer of your choosing, and you're allowed to switch attorneys. If you find that it's not a good fit with your current attorney, you can always switch attorneys, at least here in New York. Is it going to cost you more money? Do you have to pay 2 lawyers' fees now? At least here in New York State, essentially what happens is whatever the attorney's fee otherwise would have been, it just gets split amongst those lawyers. The exiting lawyer gets an exit fee for the work they performed, and the new lawyer splits from their fees. So that's how that works. Any final tips for workers trying to avoid mistakes in their workers' compensation journey? Again, getting a lawyer is key. Why? It's free. Coming to sit down with an attorney and have a consultation. There's plenty of my YouTubers and Instagrammers and TikTokers that I've had come in here and we have a nice chat about their case, and it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to retain me. The consultation's free. If the insurance company's doing what they're supposed to do out of the gate, your lawyer doesn't have to do anything. They're going to file your paperwork. They're going to keep an eye on your claim, but they're not doing anything proactive to get you what you need because the insurance company providing it, and that's free. You have a lawyer on call for free throughout the entirety of your case, and if the poop hits the fan at any point in time, all you gotta do is pick up the phone. Your lawyer has access to your case, they know what's going on, and they can jump right in to help you with any problems. Whereas if you don't have a lawyer and a problem pops up, you have to track one down, find somebody who's willing to jump into the middle of a case, wait for them to get access to your file, wait for them to review the file, and then hopefully they're able to do something to salvage something out of your case. So getting a lawyer, it's free. You might as well. Again, folks, thank you. Thank you for joining with me today. Any questions, please feel free. 212-406-8989. I am Rex Sikofsky, and thank you all for joining me. Have a wonderful rest of your day.